Okay, welcome back. So it's haircut time. This is so much fun. So you want to make sure you've got a bin nearby that you can be putting all of this into, but you're going to be quite, I don't want to say ruthless, but you want to be quite confident about the amount that you're chopping off. So you want to be chopping maybe a good 2 or 3 centimeters off your pom-pom, because the more we chop off, the firmer our bunny's body will be. It will still be fluffy, but it'll be a little bit more rounded in shape. We're aiming to get a nice sort of round ball that's nice and even. So be careful not to chop the strings, okay? And then perhaps you can think of something exciting and crafty to do with all the fluff that you're chopping off. You can save it for Christmas and make a Santa beard. Can you see that that side's getting a little bit, I'm not sure if you can see in the video, but this side's starting to get a little bit rounder. This side's still got some really big chunky bits on, so I'm going to chop them off. And it's up to you when you stop, really. It depends how big and fluffy you want your bunny to be. If you want it a super fluffy bunny, then, you know, maybe stop when it's still looking a little bit crazy haired. If you want a neater bunny, then carry on, because you'll see the more you snip at it, the more defined its shape will become. I'm going to do a wee bit more. Gosh, there's a lot of fluff, isn't there? That would make a lovely Santa beard. Okay. This is starting to get more like the right shape. Okay. It's very easy to keep on snipping because it's quite addictive. Right then, I think that's enough. So now I've got a nice ball shape. Still fluffy, but it's not crazy like it was at the beginning. And it sits in my hands as a nice sort of size in my hands like that. Okay, so you're going to do exactly the same for this one here, and you'll end up with a much smaller, you're aiming to end up with a much smaller pom-pom, much smaller ball of fur, because this is going to be the bunny's head, so you want it to be considerably smaller than its body. So you can afford to chop much more off this one. I wonder if this might make a nice little nesting. This fluff might be good for putting in a hamster's cage. They might like it. Nesting in. So I'm just chopping quite a lot off as I go. So let's compare it to the other one. So it's still a wee bit on the large side. If we put them on top of each other, you see it's still a wee bit large, so I'm going to keep on going with this one, because I do want it to be quite a bit smaller than the body. is going to be the cutest, fluffiest bunny you've ever seen when it's finished. There we go. It's getting to a better size now. Just trim these bits here by the thread, by the cord that's tying it up. Okay. I just had a slightly crazy haircut. Okay, right, that's more like it. So let me show you. We've got a much smaller one. It's about half the size of the one underneath the big body. Okay, so now we've got a nice job to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to find on the smaller pom-pom, you're going to go all the way inside and find where the string cuts through the middle. And then you're going to take one of the long strings from your large pom-pom and you're just going to pop it through underneath and pull it through. Can you see that? There we go. So I'm just pulling it through there. You're going to keep pulling it, keep pulling it, keep pulling it until they're almost together. And then you're going to use your two long strings to tie a nice tight knot, which will pull the two pom-poms tightly together. And you can probably afford to do another one too. So you're doing two knots. Nice and tight. And then we can actually trim away and remove all of these remaining cords that we've used to tie around. You can just go right close inside, so it'll be hidden, you won't see the edges, and just snip those off and throw those away. Okay, so we now have the kind of body and head of a bunny, but it looks a little bit crazy, and now is a good chance, now that we've got it connected, to actually go round and complete any more trimming you might want to do, just to make it the way you'd like your bunny to be. So if you want it less fluffy, this is now a good chance to go around and trim any extra bits and bobs that are sticking up. I think I'm going to make my one's head nice and sort of smooth and even, and have a really fluffy body underneath. Okay, so there we go. There is the body and head of the rabbit. So if you move on to the next video, we're going to be making the ears, and we're going to be putting the eyes and the nose on. Okay.